Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you how to solve this problem with a confidence interval. Now let's start with the question. A coffee machine dispenses coffee into a paper cup. You're supposed to get 10 ounces of coffee, but the amount varies slightly from cup to cup. Below are the amounts measured in a random sample of 20 cups. Is there evidence that the machine is shortchanging customers? Construct a 95% confidence interval. Alright, so some of you may be asking what a confidence interval is. Well, it's a range of values where the true mean can lie. Because this sample here, it will have its own mean, but another sample may have a different mean. And to do this, we have an acronym called PANIC. So what do each of these letters stand for? First of all, the P stands for perimeters, which in this case would be the mean, and we have to describe what it is. This is the character mu. Mu is understood to be the mean, and we have to say that the mean is the average amount of coffee per cup in ounces. That is what the mean is in this problem. Now the assumptions. First of all, we have to make sure that it's random. And if we come up here, we can see that it says in a random sample of 20 cups. So we're going to write that down. SRS, which stands for simple random sample of 20 cups. There are two more assumptions we need to make sure are correct. The next one is we have to check if the total amount here in our sample is less than 10% of the whole population. And our sample is 20 cups. I'm quite confident that there are more than 200 cups in the world. So we're going to write that 20 is less than 10% of all cups. Now our last one is going to be to test normality. To do this, we're going to have to put these in a list on a TI-84 calculator. So I'll pull that up and do that quickly. Alright, as you can see here, I put all the values into this list. Now, to check the normal probability plot, which will determine normality, we will go here, go to plot 1. First, turn it on. And now go to the one all the way to the right here. That is the normal probability plot. And to check to make sure it is what we want, we're going to go press zoom here, and then 9. And as we see here, the plot is very linear, and that's exactly what we want. If the plot is linear, that means that the distribution is normal. And then we can take a picture of the normal probability plot, and we can put it here to show that it is linear. Alright, that's the hardest part of the confidence interval done. And now we're on to the end, which is the name of the test. This test is called a one-sample T interval. And we also want to get the degrees of freedom. The degrees of freedom is the sample size minus 1. If we go up here, we find that the sample size is 20. So 20 minus 1 is 19. Now we're on to the I, which is the interval itself. So if we go back to our calculator, and we go to StatCalc 1, that will give us the X bar. That is going to be the first part of our problem, which is 9.845. Plus or minus, because we want We want to see it higher and lower than our mean. That's going to be the critical value, which we're going to need the DF for, and the 95% confidence interval. We go here, and we go to inverse t, and we put in 0.975 for the 0.975 percentile of confidence interval, and we comma and put the DF, which we know is 19. We will get the t star value of 2.093. Now that is going to be multiplied by the standard error, which is going to be the standard deviation over the square root of the sample size. We go back to StatCalc 1, and we can check the standard deviation from there. You see it's 0.199. Over the square root of 20. Now we have our formula. Luckily, we don't actually have to do the whole formula out to find it. You can if you want to, but there's an easier way with the calculator. We go back to our calculator, and we go to our test list, which is here in stats. Move over to test, and go to find the t interval, which is number 8. And we have the data, so we can just put it in with our list. Put the list in L1, that's what I put it in. You put it in whatever list you put the data in. Frequency, we leave at 1. C level, confidence level, as we saw in the test, was 95. Now we press calculate. And this is our interval right here. Right, and now we have our confidence interval, and the last thing to do is state our conclusion. And our conclusion is going to be in a sentence like this: I am 95% confident that the true mean of ounces of coffee per cup is between, then we put our confidence interval, 9.752 and 9.938. And now we have our whole panic out. And now we can answer this question here. Is there evidence that the machine is shortchanging customers? It says here that we're supposed to get 10 ounces of coffee, but if we check our confidence interval, we see that 10 is outside of the confidence interval. It's higher than. So we're always, or 95% of the time, going to get a mean that is less than 10, which means that yes, the machine is shortchanging customers. I hope you learned how to do a confidence interval. Thank you for watching.